Yay! The cameras are working. Hello, everyone. Can you hear us all okay?
Can you hear us?
Oh, yay! Thank you. We have Lori here in the house. She's our writer in
Nice.
the game.
Hi, Lori.
Yes. Hello, Shadow47.
Nice. Can you also guys hear me okay? Because sometimes my audio gets muffled, so I just want to make sure that I'm heard loud and clear.
Hey, we can hear you, Henry.
Ah, nice. Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Hello, Rad Racco.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, let's give a few minutes for people to file in. I believe the social announcement just went off, so hopefully we'll get more people to join us today. We have some new faces here for those of you who do not recognize us. Ah, I see. Curious, can people hear the background music? Hello.
Hey, Scott.
Yes, yeah. Background music is very soothing. I
Mm.
wonder which one of you knows where this music comes from.
It's a secret.
I know, right?
Or not.
Or not, I don't know.
Yeah, we might.
Oh, no.
We might not.
Yeah.
We might spill, but I don't want to say.
No, don't say anything, Hanero. It's too early for anything. Yeah. Background music might be a bit too soft because it's very soothing, but we can't have it too loud, otherwise it might overpower us speaking. So, cool. One more minute and then we could begin. Hello, Abby.
Hi, Evie.
Yeah, how is everyone today? It's a Friday. It's the day before the weekend, or for some people, it's already the weekend.
Yeah, it's good. I'm excited for today's live stream. We have a lot to show you guys.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm excited too as well.
Yeah.
Also, it's Emily Lim first time on live stream, so I'm excited for that too.
Yay! Yeah, it is.
Welcome, Emily.
Yeah, it's my first time live streaming and as a host to Cell to Singularity, but it is not my first time live streaming in general. I used to do a lot of personal live streams back in the day. Who knows? Maybe I might get back into it when I retire. That would be the goal, right? Become like a gamer grandma on live stream. Who knows?
Oh, maybe... yeah, that looks so cool.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, it's 1:03, so let us begin. So, hello everyone. My name is Emily. I know we have another Emily here in the company, and there is and so as a result, we have nicknames for us to define the two Emilys in the company. So my nickname is M. So I'm M from marketing, and I actually work really closely with the other Emily. Her nickname is Emmy. She's your social community manager. She's normally the one who's front facing, and you see her a lot in the live streams and in TikTok. But today she's taking a break, and she's actually working as a moderator here in the channel. So please say hi to her.
Hi, Emmy.
Yeah, hi. Hello, Mr. Miami. So, my name is Emily and I work in marketing. I'm in charge of coordinating all of our marketing activities and social community initiatives. I work not just with Emily or Emmy, but I also work closely with Jesse, who's our customer support, Aditya, head Discord mod, and Micah. Thank you, D Carrot. Yes, I know. Celta Singularity is the best game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, with that, this is my first time hosting the live stream here in Celta Singularity, so you may see me more often. And with that, let me introduce you to our other guests here in the live stream. John, would you like to begin?
Sure. Hey guys, my name is John. I do art direction on Cell to Singularity. I also work as a developer. So for the last few months, myself and our 3D modeler, Jenna, have been working on updating the Civilization Garden. So we wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction to what that's looking like and our plans for it in the coming months.
Awesome. And apparently, John, this isn't your first time here in the stream, right? You've been here before.
Yeah, this is my second time. So a long while back, when we were first introducing some of the new Beyond content, I came on stream to get you guys introduced to that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good to see you back. I'm glad you get to show yourself more often to our fans. Cool.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's always fun to do this, so.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, our next guest. I'm pretty sure players will be really excited to see again. Genaro?
Hi, I'm Genaro. I'm also on Discord Cell Support. I'm the QA lead of Cells to Singularity. I'm also organizing a lot of things in the beta as well. And also I'm making sure that the release goes smoothly as well. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Nice. I know in past streams, people were always asking if self-support is in the chat, so it's great to see you again here in the stream and people get to see your lovely face. All right, so before we begin our content, I have some things to clarify. So as much as it is exciting to see self-support here, we will not be addressing any live support during the stream. But if players do have any issues with their games, or have any bugs to report, please email at lunch@computerlunch.com, or you can DM directly to Cell Support in Discord. We will have a Q&A towards the end of the live stream, so please save all your questions there. And then, as always, we have a special Darwinium code for all of our fans joining us in today's stream.
So excited for that.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what people say about it. But before we have spoilers coming on, let's head over towards the big update with Civilization. So I'm sure everybody has noticed, or at least for people who play on Steam, we had a big production build come out with big new changes to the Civilization Garden. And so, kicking it off to you, John, to talk about it.
Sure. So, as I mentioned, for the last few months, we've been working hard on updating the Civilization Garden in the game. So, for those of you who have been following the game for a long time, we've kind of been slowly working through the earlier parts of the game and kind of adding new content, updating the visuals, and so on. So, if you remember with the Land Garden, we took that as an opportunity to really kind of increase the scale of the game and start adding in much more detail. So we added in mammals and lots of different types of unlockable wildlife. And we really kind of expanded the content there. So for the next phase, we're actually looking to do a similar kind of treatment to the civilization part of the game. So in addition to really kind of redoing all the civilization gardens, we also want to try to expand some of the content for the Civ part of the game. So we want to kind of delve deeper into the different ages, and we want to kind of highlight more of the discoveries and the inventions and the human stories that you kind of get to unlock in the game. So for today's session, I basically want to kind of give you guys a little bit of an introduction to some of the thinking and the research that went into updating the civilization content. And then I'll do a quick demo of some of the stuff you can expect to see in the most recent release, as well as in the upcoming releases over the next few months. And then I also want to kind of talk about some of the longer term plans around the later garden work that we're planning. Okay, So jumping right in, if you look at my screen here, this is pretty much kind of the big reference board that we put together before we started work on the garden. So, before we even started putting anything into the game, we really wanted to sit down and kind of think about, what do we actually want to highlight in the game? What are the important stories that we want to tell? What are the most important kind of milestones in human history that we really wanted to kind of highlight and kind of emphasize? So you can kind of see here, there's, a ton of content. Obviously, this kind of stretches across, a huge part of human history. So at the top, we have kind of this timeline where you can see we've broken out history across the ages. So following the generators that we have in the game, we have, the Stone Age to begin with, which begins, 3 million years ago up until about 2000 BC. And then we kind of progress into the Neolithic, the Bronze Age, Iron Age, the Middle Ages, and then the Age of Discovery. So for this phase of the update, these are really kind of the 6 ages that we wanted to focus on. And as you can see, there's kind of a lot going on here. So let me just try to break down a little bit of kind of how this is organized. So at the top, we basically have these symbols. So when we were thinking about how to represent the ages in the garden, we kind of had a hard time kind of capturing or figuring out how to represent the ages visually. So what we did was we kind of went in and we tried to identify some of the symbols that kind of we felt like would represent the ages, as well as kind of picking out historical artwork and artifacts from each of the ages that we thought would kind of best represent those times. So you can kind of see here as I kind of scroll from left through right, you can kind of see, a wide range of different beautiful kind of historical artifacts from different places around history and around the globe. So we tried to kind of use this as a starting point to think about, what we wanted the generator unlocks in the garden to look like. So hopefully as we kind of demo this later on today, you can kind of see, how these inspirations eventually came through. Next, we have kind of these dwellings. So in addition to kind of figuring out how we represent the generators, we also wanted the garden to kind of feel like you're building out a town or a city. So we kind of went through and we picked out a lot of architectural references and kind of references for dwellings to kind of see how the dwellings and buildings that we create evolved over time. So starting, way back in prehistory, we have kind of cave dwellings and kind of huts. And then, as you kind of progress through the ages, you kind of see the architecture kind of advance and evolve. And eventually kind of wind up with these, larger, more complex structures that we started to build over time. So this kind of progression we wanted to also capture in the garden. And we also kind of wanted to make sure that we were drawing inspiration from all over the globe, as opposed to just focusing on one area. So you can kind of see, in the reference images that we really have, buildings that we've kind of handpicked from various different regions throughout history.
Yeah, there's a ton of images and research here. Must have taken a lot of time for you to do all of this, Don.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, this is kind of the fun part, when you're just kind of coming up with the ideas. I think a lot of the challenge, though, was kind of boiling this down and figuring out, all right, how do we take these ideas and get it into the game? And a lot of that hard work was done by myself and Jenna, our 3D modeler. So she actually, played a huge part in kind of converting these images into 3D assets that we can actually look at in the game. And I'll be showing you guys some of that a little bit later on. But before I do, I just want to kind of highlight the third part of what we kind of wanted to research for the garden, which is the actual tech unlocks. So previously in the gardens, you can only unlock generators, but now in addition to the generators, you can also unlock kind of tech nodes and see them appear in the garden. So if you kind of look at these images, you can kind of see the images that we picked and the stories that kind of correspond to these big milestones in human history. So for example, the invention of fire, or the development of hunting and fishing, cave painting. They have like these really striking images, and they tell really interesting human stories. and we wanted to try to capture some of that in the garden as well. So as we kind of scroll through time, you can kind of see all these major advancements like farming, the plow, the wheel, mining, writing, and so on. We kind of wanted to capture these visually in the garden as unlockable content that you can kind of see and kind of feel, as the story kind of humans unfolds. All right, so that's
cool.
pretty much it for the references. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely very excited to kind of start on this. We've been wanting to kind of tackle this Civ content for a long time, and I'm glad that we finally got to this point, since it's been a long time coming for sure.
Right now I feel that last year, a couple of years ago, we focused a lot of the entropy garden, and the overhaul was really cool. But having this expansion, just focusing on the part of the civilization part of the tree, I think is very big, and I think a lot of players are excited for that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think as far as the content in the main game, this is definitely one of the most overdue parts. So I know that the team's been working on doing really great things in the Beyond and with the limited time events, but I do think the main part of the game has kind of been getting less attention since we've been focused on so many other areas. So I think it's exciting to kind of finally get back to focusing on improving the main game again and making the experience better for new players coming into the game.
Yeah, this is all amazing.
Thanks. Yeah. All right, so this is pretty much what the garden is looking like.
So
nice.
cool.
There's a lot going on here. So let me just try to walk you through kind of what's in here, what's going on, what you can expect in the release that went out this week, and then kind of what you can expect in the releases that are going forward. So this is kind of the work in progress version of the garden. A lot of the content that I'm going to be showing you today is still very much work in progress. So just keep that in mind. So if you open up the game, this week, this is actually, you're not going to have access to all of this. It's mostly going to be the generators that are coming out this week, and then the additional content will be phased in as we continue to do expansions over the coming weeks and months.
Yay! A lot of people will be excited to hear that there's going to be new content.
Yeah, new content is always good. So just to kind of give a little bit of an explanation of what we're seeing here, I guess just to put it in a broader context, if you guys remember, we spent a lot of work and time over the last few years revamping the land garden. So what we wanted to do was kind of bring the civilization content stylistically and kind of visually in line with what we have in the land garden. So if you remember playing the game up until a week ago, you kind of get to the land garden, there's all this content, and then suddenly the style shifts into the kind of older style of the game. So this is kind of finally our chance to make everything kind of feel cohesive from start to finish. So as far as the way that the garden is organized, it's basically split out into 6 sections. So we have the Stone Age here, we have the Neolithic, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, the Middle Ages, and then here we have kind of the Age of Discovery. And then you can kind of see as you look at the island that there's like this connecting central path, which connects each of the ages throughout history. So as you kind of scroll through the garden down more at ground level, you can kind of see, you can kind of see the humans kind of going about their daily kind of tasks, and we kind of wanted to, at the ground level, show more of, what some of these moments and some of these breakthroughs in history might have looked like. So starting on the left, you just kind of progress through the Stone Ages, and as you rotate through the garden, you progress through history and through the ages into the Neolithic, which is more focused on agriculture and farming. And then we move on to the Bronze Age, so where we have kind of the early Mesopotamian civilizations, and then up through Egyptians. And then we move on to the Iron Age, where we have kind of the Romans and more Eastern civilizations coming into the picture, and then the Middle Ages. And then finally, we have the Age of Discovery, where you start seeing kind of the ships and the explorers and so on coming into the pictures.
I love how everything is connected, and also that all the graphics look really on brand with the game. Like you see this, and this is also Singularity, yeah, at his finest. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice work.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
kudos
Yeah.
to Jenna too. Yeah, all of this work, all these 3D models, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like all of this is pretty much custom. So Jenna has been just churning them out, and she's still continuing to work on things right now. So if you notice, as I kind of scroll through the garden, all the humans aren't animated yet. So we just kind of have a lot of placeholder characters still. A lot of the art isn't final yet, but she's really kind of going through and animating each human kind of by hand, one by one. So there's a ton of work to be done here, which is why it's kind of taken a long time for us to kind of get this out. But we're definitely getting closer to wrapping it up.
Yeah. And right now in the game, there are no humans, just to clarify that.
Yes.
But there will be as we go furthermore into the ages.
Right. So yeah, just to kind of clarify exactly, what's out there as of this week's release versus what's kind of in the pipeline. For this release, we really wanted to focus on just getting these core generators out. So you'll see that we have this new unlockable for the Stone Age. We have a new unlockable for the Neolithic, and then we have new unlockables for the Bronze and the Iron Ages. So if you remember back to the reference, we were kind of thinking hard about how we wanted to represent these different ages in kind of a visual form. So these were pretty much lifted directly from some of the references that we took. We still do need to kind of do a little bit of loose ends, like kind of making the icons and the tree icons all kind of match what's in the garden. But that's kind of stuff that we have planned for upcoming releases. And then finally, for the Middle Ages, we have this guy here who's kind of reading the book, which is the symbol that we wanted to focus on for the Middle Ages. And then we have this explorer guy.
So cool.
For the Age of Discovery. So all of that is currently in the game. It's out in production now. But then the individual humans that we have, for example, for representing fishing or for representing the discovery of fire, they'll eventually be selectable, but this content isn't actually in the game yet. It'll be released kind of in phases in the coming weeks and months. So the way that we're planning on releasing this content is per age. So following the most recent release, the upcoming release will focus on kind of introducing all of this additional Stone Age content. But in addition to just doing kind of visual upgrades, we also wanted to kind of bundle that up with actual new unlockable content on the tree to kind of supplement that. So the next release will be focused on the Stone Age and kind of really diving deeper into that. And then we'll do a Neolithic release where we kind of get deeper into introducing new nodes for the Neolithic, as well as kind of showing, some of the agriculture and farming within the garden. And then we'll continue that for the remaining ages in later releases as well.
Nice.
But one thing you don't need to worry about are your Logic prizes, because they're still in the garden.
Yay,
so
that's good.
Yes.
We still have our philosophy Logic, hanging out over here.
Nice. And you can also still find the coin.
Yeah, the coin is here as well. So you can still flip the coin.
Hey.
You can still try to get it into.
Oh my god, that's so cool! I didn't even know this was a secret achievement.
Oh,
for everyone, this is Easter eggs.
It's much easier to do now. Our developer Mike, who did the original implementation on the coin, he made it very, very hard. The cup was on a shelf in the corner in the room, but it's a little bit easier to do now if you're able to unlock it in the garden.
Yay, nice. And then I assume that since this update is out into the wild, people aren't going to be losing any of their generators. It should all be unlocked once you've unlocked them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So pretty much for this release, we wanted to take whatever content is currently in the game and then just update that into the new style. So that's kind of just setting the stage for all the new content to come. But then in future updates, that's where we'll be kind of introducing the new stuff that you can unlock. So for day one, which is this week, it's pretty much you keep what you have, except in the new form, and then you'll have new content kind of coming in between all the other releases that we have planned. So if you guys know, we also have things going on with the Beyond. We have other events kind of in the works. So we have plenty of content. So we'll be kind of sandwiching in the Civ content in between all those different pipelines that we have going.
Yay! Super excited. And I know in the comments, Akila was talking about maybe getting some dancing in here incorporated. And there's excitement about Mars Garden and colonization there.
For sure, yeah. There's a ton of stuff that we can still add to the game for Civilization. I think it's definitely there's a lot of room to kind of just improve the game in that part of the game. So as far as the plans go, over the next few weeks or months, really, we'll be focused on just finishing out the ancient civilization. So everything from the Stone Age all the way through the Age of Discovery. After that, we're going to be shifting gears to focus on kind of more present-day civilization. So everything from the Industrial Revolution up until maybe the near future, and that'll be its own garden where you'll have trains and planes and kind of things like that. And then the last part of this is going to be introducing the future content. So an updated Mars Garden where we can really kind of highlight and focus on some of the more speculative and kind of sci-fi types of content that you have in the game. So we definitely have kind of a long roadmap, but at least for the near term, our focus is going to be, just finishing this and getting it out there, and then we'll be shifting gears probably closer to 2024 into the later stuff.
Yeah, super exciting. I can't wait to go on this long journey. I'm sure all of our players will be extra excited knowing that this is coming up ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're definitely excited too. I mean, this stuff is fun to work on. I know Jenna and I especially have a lot of interest in kind of telling these more human stories, and it's definitely kind of feels like a new part of the game. So we're excited with you.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's all I had. So you want to take it back, Emily?
Yeah, for sure. I know there's some conversations about secret achievements. Maybe we might add them, hint, hint, John, but who knows? We'll see. Look forward to the future and our updates regarding that. Awesome. All right, now that we've gone through the big update regarding civilization, let's move on to leaderboard stuff. So I'm pretty sure people have seen there was a big change regarding the leaderboard, and so we have Hinero here who will be talking to us more about it. Let's kick it off to you, Hinero.
Yeah, of course, Emily. Well, as you can see, we originally created a leaderboard system called the neural network. It has been for a while now, and we have collected a lot of feedback from you. We cannot thank you enough because that was really valuable. We decided to do like a major overhaul to this, and we introduced a brand new system called research points, or RP. So basically, everything that you do in the game, not only the Metabit collection, is going to add up to this new system. So in order to get a high rank in the system, you need to do a lot of things in the game. So I think that's pretty cool, because before that, it was just Metabit production, and sometimes it gets really difficult, especially for new first-time players to get it in comparison to long-time players that have played the game for a long time, and they have achieved a lot of Metabits.
Trillions, bazillions of Metabits.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, right now the one thing that we're focusing a lot of is that all players will be able to share their current tier, and they will see which other players are in the same tier, and you can level up in order to get to the next tier or rank. So it's pretty cool. There is kind of like a gameplay element on this system, and I think it's going to be really exciting for players that want to compete against others. that implementation because it's kind of like competition, and we know a lot of our players like to compete and see who is the most efficient universe architect. Also, our goal is to make the leaderboards feel fair, where players are ranked globally based on the overall personal progress and achievements. So everything in the game will count as a RP game. The things especially that you're very good at, because we also saw players that are really good at completing ranks on the Metabit Valley or getting all the ranks on the Beyond. We want those things to matter. That's why we designed this system in mind. So it rewards players as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see people making guides on how to min-max the research points. That would be super interesting.
Yeah, also like for example, when we added the speedrun achievements, a lot of players come up with fun strategies to beat the 2 minute secret achievement. So I think that's pretty cool, and hopefully this system will also help on that as well.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. Also, do you have the image with the ranks that we're working on right now?
Yeah, so we do have some titles that people can get once they've reached the appropriate RP.
Yeah, keep in mind that those are still a work in progress, so they might change slightly. So you can see that here, for example, we have different tires. Like Novice is the very first one, and Transcendent is like the top one, the top of the rank. Every rank has 10 tires. So you need, in order to, for example, get to specialist from scientist, you need to get rank 10, and then the next time you rank up, you will be a specialist level 1. So there is kind of like a ladder system that we designed. So I think that's pretty cool. And right now, the calculations, there is still a work in progress. Or programmer Peter is working hard on tweaking this calculation. So hopefully they are more fair and more accessible also, especially for first-time players as well. So everything might be subject to change too as we get more feedback and more input from players.
Yeah. Definitely want to iterate that this system is not final. It needs definitely several rounds of polish. We wanted to release it now for people to experience it and give us feedback. And we also need some live production data to continue polishing it. So it can't be hidden for a long time. Eventually it has to go out into the wild. And so as Hinera mentioned, the titles are still in work in progress. In fact, we're still kind of brainstorming to figure out if this is something we want to keep. But it is already live now in Steam, and then for mobile it'll come out in phases, and then it should officially come out on Monday. But something I also wanted to mention is that because the leaderboard tuning is still in flux, it is closely tied to the Metabit tuning. So, as everybody knows, that we are still trying to balance and tune our Metabits. And so what will happen is that in subsequent updates, you'll see people have different tiers and ranks in the leaderboard, even though they've largely haven't done anything to change that. Most of the time, this is normal, partly because we're still trying to finesse and polish the system, and especially as we're doing these Metabit tunings, they are also subject to change.
Also, I want to add up that we are still like hard at work on the leaderboard feature, and we're also planning to add more stuff to that. Right now, for example, I love to have like a system that notifies you when you rank up, because right now we don't have that. So we're working on adding like quality of life changes and improvements to make it even more engaging experience for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. All right. With that, since we've already started talking about tuning, I guess we should start going over it. So what tuning changes did come with this new update, Hinero?
Yeah, because we also like check the feedback, and yeah, we some players like miss out their Metabit serving. So in order to help alleviate that, we added several new Metabit upgrades that are tied to your progress in other simulations. Let me introduce you the Triassic, the Mesozoic Valley upgrades that is Triassic Jet, Jurassic Camber, and the other one that you will discover later. Those will affect, depending on your progress on Mesozoic Valley, is going to increase your Metabit production. Also, the same with the Beyond. We have a tire related to the Beyond as well, and for the Explore events too. For every badge you collect, is going to increase your main simulation speed. When you don't have any upgrades, the boost is pretty small, but if you unlock everything, the boost gets really large. So it really adds up to your current production as well. So hopefully players will be really excited to get these upgrades, because it's going to increase a lot of their production in the main simulation. And I think that it's going to ease out a lot of the grind that you have to complete in the game. So we're looking forward to getting the feedback from players as well.
Yeah, and just to be clear, in order to get these upgrades, they will be immediately unlocked as soon as you unlock their respective contents. So
Yeah.
once you've unlocked Mesozoic Valley, the first upgrade to the Mesozoic Valley will unlock, and then once you upgrade that, the second one will pop up, and the same will be for the Beyond and for the events. So if you've already unlocked it, it should already be available in the Reality Engine once you go in there. Cool.
Yeah. Also, something fun about the names. It's we try to add a motif to the name. Like for example, the Mesozoic Valley upgrades, they are referencing organic gemstones that they were around the Mesozoic era. So kind of like semblance, trying to add power to the simulation using gemstones that are from organic matter. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and if you go into the game, to the Reality Engine, you can rotate the models, the icons for those upgrades, and it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then what else happened in the game regarding tuning? I know we made some changes as well, apart from adding upgrades.
Yeah, we also made some tweaks in the early game, basically to make the game a little more accessible for first-time players. Our goal is like to keep players hooked. Like once they figure out what's the main gameplay loop, they can keep playing, and they stay for longer, because we have a lot of new content planned ahead, like John Ree showed us, and yeah, we're kind of like hoping to keep players hooked with all this new content, and making everything easier for first-time player. I think is our big goal as well.
Yeah. That's great. In fact, this isn't the end of the tuning. Oh no, we still have more to go to continue making the game feel fair. We definitely want to remind people that the reason why we're doing all of this tuning is to make sure that any new content that's coming out, especially the Civ rework and content that John is working on, that people will be able to play it without finishing it within an hour, because that's not great. This is content that should be played over time, so hopefully everybody will enjoy it. But at the same time, we want to make sure that players don't feel stuck with their metabits. We want them to feel like they're always continuously progressing towards the next goal. We're not there yet, but we will get there eventually.
Yeah, and also I want to give up a special shout out to the beta community, because all the feedback that they have given us has been really valuable. Like all the small bugs, small tweaks that we can improve, suggestion, everything is making the game better, and we thank you because of that. Yeah, we really appreciate your feedback so far.
Yeah, definitely to our beta players, you are the reason why everybody in live production is enjoying the content is because you're able to give us valuable feedback regarding what's going on. And with that, for those of you who are not part of the beta program, if you're interested in joining, the instructions on how to join the beta community will be posted in the comments, and it is also available in Discord. You can also email lunch@computerlunch.com to receive instructions on how to join, or DM cell support in Discord. Awesome. Cool. All right. With that, we can head over to our Q&A. So, if anyone has some burning questions for us, I'm sure there are many, feel free to shoot to us. Yeah.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Piadis because he's saying hello from Spain in Spanish. So yeah, I saw that. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yay. Awesome. We are doing well, Blue Runner. Excited to be part of the stream, especially this is my first time. So I hope everyone is enjoying me hosting for this stream.
Yeah.
If you miss Emily, she'll be back next time. Oh, here we have a question by Mats. We saw horses in the new civilization garden. Does this mean we get it as a new mammal?
That's a good question, because right now it's kind of like as
John,
part
if
of
you
the
are
seed
speaking,
garden.
we don't hear you.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So that is something that we're thinking about. So I think what I showed you was kind of the end state of the civilization garden. So when you first kind of get into it, though, we wanted to just be kind of like untamed nature. So the idea is, I think you might have seen some of the bison in there. There were some horses. So originally we'll be starting with that, and then as you kind of unlock the civ nodes, it kind of turns into a city. So with the horses, ideally, you start kind of with wild horses that are just kind of out there, unselectable, and then eventually they'll be kind of that node will turn into horse domestication, which is the civ unlock for that.
Nice.
I think we might have missed a question from Ebby a little bit further up about whether we have civilization tree improvements in progress. So like I mentioned, we're still thinking about that. We definitely do want to make additions or improvements to the civ tree along with the visual upgrades that we're doing. So for this release, we just kind of introduced the bare bones garden. But in later releases, as we kind of dive deeper into each of the ages, we want to add, a few kind of additional nodes or some additional content to kind of go with that. But the planning for that is still kind of happening, and we're still kind of doing research. So what exactly that's going to look like is still kind of up in the air.
Nice. There's a question about adding amphibians. I believe that goes in line with mammals, or is that different?
Amphibians is probably going to be a different thing. The plants, I know that's been brought up before. I don't know if that's on the roadmap just yet, but it is something that has been brought up and that we are thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah, right now we're like thinking ideas of adding our next major expansion. So yeah, I think definitely amphibians is one of the big candidates, as well as plants, for example. We're also getting a lot of requests for plants and other animals as well. So yeah, it's kind of like nice to have feedback from all over the places. And yeah, we are trying to come up with constant ideas for new content for you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Another question from No Limitations. Will the new upgrades also improve the main simulation speed multiplier that Meso Beyond give? I believe that's related to tuning, right?
Yeah. Is this something nice? Yeah, well, this new upgrade is going to improve the main speed, basically, and they're tied on the ranks that you have. For example, if you have like rank 30, and then you unlock, you go to Prestige 2, rank 18 on the Mesoscale Valley, your boost will be larger. So yeah, it's kind of like we want players to feel rewarded if they complete other simulations as well.
Awesome. Thank you for your comments, Sarmak and Ludolite. Yes, I'm really happy to hear that everyone is happy to hear about the updates that we're streaming today. Cool. So, next question. Is the primary simulation getting more content? I have all 250 unit achievements and would love to continue playing my favorite game.
Yeah, I could probably help answer that one. So definitely for the civilization section, we are thinking about how to add content. And then past that, we are also thinking about some longer term ideas. I think it's probably too early to be talking about them, but pretty much, we are thinking about, is there additional content that we can add on past the Mars nodes? So kind of deeper into the future. So some of those ideas we've already started to explore in the beyond, but we are kind of thinking about, what that might look like, but that's still pretty far down on the roadmap.
Gotcha. A very popular question that I've seen in past live streams and in Discord is, when are we getting the rock stone update?
Oh yeah, that's...
So for those of you on the stream that don't know, this is actually an April Fool's prank that we did a long while back. But it seems like since that day, many of our players have expressed a lot of interest in rocks and in geology. So I mean, it is an interesting branch of science. So it is something that we can think about. But
I think it's a perfect. It's a perfect candidate for Explore event. But yeah, it's kind of like it's one of our top candidates. So yeah, we will let you know in the future if we go ahead on that.
For sure,
yeah, we're getting a lot of love for it in the comments. So take hint, Explore team, hint. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, as you can tell, there's just a lot going on with the team, and there's so many different topics that we can cover. So definitely figuring out what to prioritize is a big challenge that we're still working on figuring out.
Yeah. We got a question from Timmy Gang. When will the update with the stuff shown in the stream be in the game? It's already out, actually, in Steam. So if you are a Steam player, the latest new production build update has the content that we're showcasing in the stream. But if you are an iOS and Android mobile player, it is not out yet. It is rolling out in phases with 100% rollout on Monday. So look forward to that. Cool. All right. We still have some time, so we can answer more questions. So let's see. What are some more questions here?
This one is good. Are there plans for rewards for reaching ranks in the beyond, like the reptiles we get for the Mesozoic Valley? Actually, we have plans to add the astronomy content that is going to be tied to your beyond progress, but we're still like on the early phases for that. So yeah, it will come up soon, but yeah, we're still working on that.
Nice. Oh, and then here's some ideas for new content from Akin Anubis. And the periodic table. And then maybe the atomic age extension.
That's a good one.
Yeah, those are both cool, yeah.
Yeah. Imagine, right?
Yeah.
Having like the nuclear cloud in the garden.
I mean, the thing with the events is like they can literally be anything. So like there's just infinite ideas that we can do. So
yes.
we do internally have a list of ideas that we've kind of floated and are thinking about. Lori, who's in the chat, has led a lot of the research on that.
Yes.
But figuring out, how to prioritize that. And then right now she's also focusing on the beyond, where there's just a ton of stuff going on. So as you all know, we're a pretty small team, so just kind of trying to make a game about everything with a tiny team is not the easiest thing to do. So we're trying to just do one thing at a time.
Yeah, for sure. And then Aurelius asks, which priority would you give to expanding on the Mesozoic Valley? I know we have like level 50 prestige. Like, I can't imagine there's more to add to that. Is there?
Well, it's kind of tricky because the last major offer was the open just because it was a highly requested feature, and John Ree was the one that implemented that I think it makes the Missouri Valley more smooth, having to open multiple builds at once. But yeah, right now I'm not sure if we have like any more plans for that. But definitely it's something that I might ask Andrew and the rest of the team.
Yeah, I think generally a lot of the people that have worked on the dynos in the past are really focused on the beyond at the moment. That's kind of one of the big company focuses. So there's a good amount of beyond content that we still need to get through. But then, once that's finally done, we can see if there's things that we can kind of circle back on with the dynos to add back in. But yeah, if there's like pressing concerns or any kind of glaring things that you all think are missing, definitely do let us know, since we do, make it a point to listen to all of our players' feedback when we prioritize things.
Yeah, definitely. There is some questions about the Beyond, so just want to mention Beyond episode 19 is going to be coming out really, really soon.
Yes.
It's actually in the polishing tuning phase, so beta players, please continue to give us your feedback as we continue to finalize that. There's a question about the Beyond episode 20. That will come out after episode 19 comes out. That is not even out.
First, you need to wait
gun.
for the official release of Beyond Rank 19, but yeah, we're on the works on that. So
yeah, and I believe this should answer the question regarding the Beyond update. Cool. All right, we have time for 2 more questions, and then we'll head to the most special time of the event of this live stream. Cool. All right. I'll leave 1 question each from John and Genaro to pick. What would you like to answer?
I saw Radko said, how many changes will you make in the Civ tree? Do you plan to change it a little bit or to completely remake it? So we had thought about making some pretty significant changes to the tree, but I think at least in the near term, we're kind of just looking to do some additions to it, as opposed to just, scrapping it and starting from scratch, just because we wanted to kind of keep whatever you guys unlocked in the game intact. That being said, we are kind of thinking about ways to kind of make additional Civ content releases exciting. So we're still thinking about exactly what we're trying to get in. But yeah, so no major changes to the tree, but we are thinking about how to kind of make it exciting for players at the same time.
Awesome, great.
Also, the character 2 says unlocking profiles with logits. I think that's a great idea. Actually, we're in tax to us more profiles, leaderboard profiles, because right now we have not so many. So I think that's one of the next on the list to add way more, so players can have multiple ways to express themselves. Because yeah, it's cool to have a profile picture in the leaderboard.
Yeah, awesome. And definitely seeing a request for the B Logit prize. I didn't even know we didn't have one yet, did we?
We haven't been none about, but yeah, we still need a proper Logit prize for the event. Yeah, yeah. Right now we're a lot of things at once, so yeah, I would love if we can like create a new team, like clone ourselves, so we have more workforce, so we can add more features. But yeah, it's a little tricky right now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we are out of time for Q&A. There is one question though I want to address about Halloween dodos. There is a story about that. In fact, the devs are actually scared of those dodos because it is a recurring bug that keeps popping up into the game. It's literally a nightmare every time we have to test to the game. So if we do add it for Halloween, it is the equivalent of adding an extra nightmare to the devs when it does pop up. But we shall see. I know, Halloween, great time for Halloween to scare the devs. It's like, is this a bug or is this a feature? Cool. All right, everyone. Now we will be announcing what the Darwinium code is. Can anyone guess what it is? In the last
I don't
stream,
want to spill the...
Don't say anything, Genaro. In the last stream, people guessed what it was. So, oh no! Oh my gosh, there's so many
Close.
people who have already figured it out. Oh man. Oh
I s-
wow.
I still don't see it though. They're close, but I don't see the actual code.
Oh, that's because I haven't revealed it yet. I want to see what
Oh.
people say before.
Yeah. I'm seeing that too, but yeah, they're
Yeah.
getting close, but no, it's
Yeah.
still no.
All right, the Darwinium code for today's stream is
Drum roll,
Teapot! Surprise! Yay! So I know we never announced it in the schedule that we were going to talk about this, but we actually have a new limited time event that is going to be coming out in a few weeks. It's called Explore a Journey to Serenity. It's going to be about the history, culture, and technology of tea. It is made by actually a two-person team, Sam and Leslie, who are not here with us today. So please play it when it does come out. They've done a lot of work to get this out. As always, the goal is to get limited time events out to you as soon as possible. It does take up a lot of production time. So if you are a beta tester and you have seen this, please continue to play it and give us your feedback as we finalize and tune it. Unfortunately, I will mention though that this code, the Darwinium code, only works, you're only able to redeem it on Android and Steam. Unfortunately, due to iOS policies, we're not able to offer the redemption, we're not able to allow users to redeem it. But there are workarounds in order to do it. So if you are interested in knowing what those workarounds are, please message a DTR headmod, message lunch@cubitalunch.com, or even message cell support, and they will let you know what some of those workarounds are. And just a sneak peek, just to see what it looks like. We've already showcased it in the dev diary. If you unlock all the nodes and zoom out, you'll kind of see a sneak peek of what the tree looks like. It's really cool. We also have a simplified form of the garden. So we've decided to reintroduce the garden back to events, partly because we've received a lot of feedback regarding the events feeling empty without a garden in there. And so, but we still want to bring limited time events to you faster. The gardens are a lot of time to produce, unfortunately. So hopefully with this simplified form, we still offer you the ability to have a garden. And so give us your feedback if you do like it.
Yeah, I think our goal is to like have a balance between having a constant cadence of a new event for you, but also keep like the balance and quality of the events, because right now all the events that we have they are made with love and care. So hopefully we don't lose on that. So that's our goal too.
Yeah, and yeah, I know Radko, that the C event doesn't have a garden, and I wonder if it will be the only event that won't have a garden. If so, our players should give it extra love because it's the most special one of them all. Or who knows, maybe later in the future we can add it in, right?
It is a really great garden. It is a really great event, though. I do like that event a lot.
Yeah.
And the tree, like, it's actually super cool because we
Yeah.
didn't have a garden. So
Yeah,
if you
for
haven't
sure.
played it, you guys should definitely check it out.
Yeah, definitely. And then one more last plug. The Beyond episode 19 is coming out very soon. So please look forward to that. We will have a formal announcement of when it will come out. So please look out for that. And cool. And then that's it. Thank you very much for everyone who has joined us in our live stream. For those of you who have not caught the Darwinium code, it is Teapot. So get your 20 free Darwinium cubes. Thank you again for our guests who are joining us today. It was so nice for you to spend your morning/afternoon with us. Awesome. And thank you all again for our fans for joining us. It was nice seeing you.
Yeah.
Have a good
Pleasure.
rest of your day and your weekend. And stay cellular. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
guys. Bye.